I think. All right, that I thought we had like 2 more seconds before we actually went live, but we're usually it counts down. It says 3, 2, and then 1, and now we're just live. What's going on? I see that y'all have been having an extensive chat, since we before we even went live. So appreciate y'all being here. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Marvel is jumping 10 years into a messed up mutant future with the Age of Revelation, so we're going to be talking about that. We have DC's Batman issue, well, not a reboot, but sort of a relaunch here of Batman. We got some stuff to talk about here with Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong, which just sounds immensely, confusing within itself. And then Undead Iron Fist comes back here, and we're going to be talking about that and probably a little bit more here. But we do have a special guest that is here with us tonight, and Brian, as you guys know from Comic Breakdown, is joining us tonight. What's going on, man? How you doing?
What's up? What's up? What's up, guys? Excited to be here. Very happy. You guys, like I said, you guys are up and coming, and you guys are fucking out here killing it. And so I'm happy to be here, man. I'm happy to be part of you guys' growth.
Yeah, definitely. We appreciate you being on. Like I was saying before we went live, we are not very always organized. We try to be, we pretend to be, and then we have a plan, and then usually the plan goes awry because we just jump all over the place. So feel free to join in that chaos with us as we go forward. Also, yes, we are late, but to be fair, I did say in the post 9:30 p.m. ish. So I never said 9:30 p.m. exact. I said p.m. ish.
No,
so
on their clocks are forward. That's what.
Yeah, that's what it is, man. Y'all took daylight savings time to a different level. Y'all did it with minutes this time, but listen, we here. So what do y'all want to kick it off? Y'all want to kick it off talking about some Age of Revelation?
Yeah, Dezzy sounded pretty excited to get into that. So let's let that man lead it off.
Yeah, I'm very excited because so Brian, I don't know if you got to read it. I did read issue 0. Yes. I know, Gary, you did not read that, but issue 0 was bananas. Okay, we're talking about Scott has been. I'm trying to use more correct terms so we're not getting banned on YouTube, but his brain was messed with, and he was forced to break into a jail to break out some criminals, and in this, people were murdered. So one of the people who died was Magic, who is somewhat alive still, because it's not Magic, it's actually now her other form. That is, what's her more powerful form? I do apologize.
Dark Child.
Dark
Child, yes. Yeah. So it's just pure Dark Child. Now, I don't know if that means they can bring Magic back, because we've never had it where it's just Dark Child, which is kind of crazy to me.
Yeah, I think if you're reading the Magic comics right now, the implication is that Magic and Dark Child are one and the same. And so correct. I think that transformation is something that it is something that could be reversible. Dark Child is fully out right now, but it's not to say that Magic couldn't technically return.
That's the reason I said that, because I am keeping up with the Magic solo comic, which is why I was saying I'm not sure if why the way they implicated it by she died, if they can reverse it or bring her back. But long story short, though, this is Krakoa's second age without saying Krakoa's second age, which we've had implications of this in other comics, especially with the new Avengers. We've been hearing a lot about it because that's how, some one of our favorite characters have come about. So I'm excited to see where this goes. Also, too, to think from talking to a tree, we've got a person who's legit looking over a whole planet now. I mean, look, they went to a point where DC had released a missile on Philadelphia. Philadelphia was ground zero for Virus X. I'm sure you remember that from Krakoa.
Mm-hmm.
So Garrett looks a little confused right now. Virus X was...
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
So for those who don't know, Virus X was killing mutants and humans alike, but for the humans that survived, they no longer were humans, they were mutants. And so DC decided, we're going to nuke it. And they took that same nuke, teleported it back to DC, and destroyed DC. So when I say right now, Earth is in shambles, this is crazy right now. and they're following this up with 16 more issues.
Yeah, so that's what I was looking up, because I'll be honest with you, some of those things are probably a little bit more interesting to me than the main storyline itself. Like if I'm being completely honest,
There's hit or miss ones for me. So I do have there's some hit or miss ones for me. So I do have a list if you guys want to run down that list really quick.
Yeah. So do you have like the full list of all of them? Because I have it up here. I can pull it up if you want.
Yeah, I have the whole list, but if you want to pull it up, that works too.
All right, I'll pull it up here. So this is from IGN.com. Shout out to them. So yeah, the amazing. I think so. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis, siete, siete, ocho, nueve, diez, once, doce, this is like 15. I could have counted that fast.
It's the majority of them, at least.
Yeah, it's most of them, though. 12, but that's cool.
Yeah, it's 15.
If you miss it, I'll call it out.
Yeah. Which one's missing from me? So this, okay, let me start off. This one is the one that seems a little bit off kilter to me, like Laura Kinney as Sabretooth. What is happening?
I don't know why she would take that mantle.
What is happening? Is this just because they don't want to bring back Sabretooth because he was chopped up by the Muramasa Blade? So they're just like, yeah, we're just not going that direction. We're not even going to try to like pretend as if though he comes back. Is that the reason why they're doing it?
I mean, after what they just did in that recent issue you covered,
Wolverine. Okay,
yeah, they might as well just leave him dead at this point.
I mean, it's not as if though they haven't brought back people to life before. Of all people, Sabretooth wouldn't be so surprising to bring him back to life if they wanted to go that direction. The whole idea of Laura Kinney, and I understand that this is, so she's supposed to be what happened?
X-23 taking everyone's name.
my man has a point. He does have a point here. I appreciate that, Jay. My one thing. So, all right, and I could be misinterpreting this. So she's supposed to be working alongside Revelation, right? Like that's the whole idea here, I think, with Lara.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I understand. That she's supposed to basically not be. So they're not calling them horsemen of the apocalypse. It's what, angels? You said that they're kind of calling them.
They're angels. Their way of looking at it now, because he's supposedly a god.
Correct, which is what we said in the title, so that makes sense. Okay, all right. So, I mean, what's yours? The Brian or Des? Like, what are y'all looking forward to here from this?
So I think this is hugely convoluted. I think it's too many. We don't need 16 issues to tell this story. You know, you'll always hear me argue for more issues to tell a broader story, more issues than 5. I think somewhere between 5 and 10 is really a good sweet spot to tell a decent, at least well played out story without having to fill it with anything, without any, like, why is Radioactive Spider in here? Like, what? I don't even understand why is Radioactive Spider-Man in an Age of Revelations book? Like, I get this. That's going to have to do with the future. We want to put Spider-Man in it. So how can we do that? Well, let's do Radioactive Spider. Let's make some ridiculousness out of it. Like, it doesn't make, like, Undeadpool, you know, that's their way of being like, oh, we're in the future and Deadpool's not actually dead. He's out here doing whatever, like always. He's being able to make it through the apocalypse like we always see. Mm-hmm. The problem is, like, you're trying to introduce characters that are very popular in the mainstream to try and get people to buy the comics, when in reality, like, Cloak and Dagger, probably not necessary. Binary, I'm going to be biased on that because I love Captain Marvel, so I'm going to read that. Yeah. Last Wolverine makes sense. Omega Kids makes sense. Rogue and Sword makes sense. Sinister Six makes sense. Like, there's a few of these that really do hit and make sense, but half of these, it's like, what the hell are we even doing? Now, Laura Kinney, Sabretooth, I don't really know what they're doing. Maybe, like, I think maybe they're having her take on a more animalistic assassin type role. And so like Sabretooth is like an appropriate title for the comic, which would make sense to me. If we have any kind of Sabretooth return, I think that'd be absolutely stupid. But if we're in a future where I mean, at this point, like, give Sabretooth a couple years before we talk about bringing him back. Like,
Sure.
we just went through so much with Sabretooth. Like, he diced up Dakin. You know,
Mhm.
he just made life a living hell for Wolverine. Let's let that sit on ice for a while. Like, the Muramasa Blade was supposed to actually kill him. Let's lay him rest before we make up some mystical bullshit to bring him back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I have a question for both of you guys.
Mhm.
It's more on where do you guys think the direction of this is going to go? Is this going to be one long story you guys think is chopped up into pieces? Or do you
Yeah.
guys think this is going to be more like what they did with Venom War, where we have this one main storyline, but then all these titles we see right here are going to be those side stories that kind of, where the hell do they fit in?
So I mean, we could even say it's like One World Under Doom, like where we see we see a lot of those stories where it's like we have this main storyline, then there's Superior Avengers, there's what Thunderbolts, there's like all these different stories, and you're asking yourself the question like, where does this matter in the grand scheme of life? And when you think about it, it's like it doesn't.
Yeah,
it really doesn't. And at the end of the day, the only thing that really matters is One World Under Doom.
Yeah.
the main one world in the story. That's it.
So I think most of these titles are going to fall like under your Wolverine story. It's going to fall under your X-Men story. So these are going to be part of your monthly already pool boxes.
Oh yeah.
So it's not going to be too bad in that regard. When we're talking about the overall story arc and where it's going to lead, like this is going to lead absolutely nowhere. I mean, that's why they're doing a future story. It is so they can come back and be like, you know what, none of this actually counted, but it was really cool to see this future, but it's not actually going to happen. And we're just going to pick up where we left off with Cyclops in jail and Cypher coming to them, and they're probably going to turn them away. Like that's going to be the end result of this Age of Revelations.
See, I had a different idea with that. So I like that concept you had. I thought by looking at issue 0, remember at the end where we see Scott and he's with the Revolution team. Yeah. I thought that book that he got, aka that journal, was because they're gonna find a way for him to go back in time and give that to him as a younger him to prevent him from having his brain tampered with. And that would stop the whole future, from actually transpiring.
Yeah. Along the same path line. I mean, that theory goes along with mine as well. Like they coincide with each other. And that's the path that he definitely could take if that's the direction they're going to go with. Who knows what they're going to do? So there's going to be some kind of ramification from it. Revelation, Cypher, he might end up still being who he is. He might end up on Mars. This isn't necessary. Like, don't get me wrong. I love this story because Cypher is a great character. He sat on the sidelines for all of Krakoa. He was, playing backseat. He watched all the politics. He saw all of it unfold. He saw all the lying, all the scheming, all the manipulating. He saw every aspect of this. So he was one of the best people, I think, to take on this role of filling the shoes of Apocalypse. And he's doing it in a much different manner. And we're just going to find out that his manner, just like Apocalypse, is it doesn't work. That this idea of mutants becoming supreme, it just never works out well for everybody. It works out well for mutants, and that's it. Now, depending on who you are and how you look at that, it could be a good or bad thing. I'm disappointed that this is the story that they're going to focus on. When, like I've argued 1,001 times, we have literally 250,000 mutants sitting in the white hot room right now, waiting an entire new Krakoa that has been thriving, and a whole civilization sitting there waiting, new mutants all over the damn place. And then we have an entire planet, Araco, Mars, that has all the mutants from the past and from the future, all there. And who else is up there? We have Apocalypse went up there. We have what? God damn it, God, I can't remember how to say her name. It's been a while since I read it.
I know what you're talking about, but I can't pronounce it either.
That's what it is. Like we have but there's amazing Araco characters that we're just missing out on. And it really is a missed opportunity. Instead, we're going to focus on a fictional future that isn't even going to have any impact on anything going on in the X comics.
Yeah, I think that's the most disappointing aspect of it to me, is that we're doing this we're instead of like carrying forward the current mutant story that's going on right now, what we're doing is that we're jumping to the future, which automatically tells me already I should probably not invest too much. Should I read it? Sure, of course. Like I'm always gonna read the stories, but at the same time, it's more of like, hey, don't get emotionally tied to this. Like, don't get emotionally tied to this story whatsoever.
I think where the excitement comes from is, and Garrett, me and you have talked about this a lot.
Yeah,
and I think Brian might agree. It was just how rushed we felt Krakoa ended.
Yes.
And I'm hoping that, yes, we understand there might be a reset, but hopefully we'll get a justified ending to this before they do that reset. It's just a hope. I think that's the hope everyone has.
My disappointment was like, and so additional disappointment. There's going to be multiple disappointments here as I continue to keep on talking. But my other disappointment about this. So reading Time Slide, right? Time Slide was sort of like, hey, this is what's coming out in the year 2025 in comics.
Yeah.
And from that moment on, I was like, oh, they said Krakoa again, and I was like, let's see how they do this. And then now I'm like, this is how they're doing this.
And keep in mind too, that's and then from there, I was reading New Avengers, and Onslaught said he was from the second age of Krakoa.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, oh, okay. So they're still throwing little hints here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to be optimistic, but I don't think I don't think this will be considered our second Krakoan age. I think this is going to be nothing more than a possible future that could have happened.
Yeah.
And the X-Men, like they always do, come in, stop this future from happening, and then you redirect Cypher in some direction that doesn't lead to absolute, domination of Earth.
Well, I will say these two last things on this. One, they've made it known that he's got a major lie. For me personally, I think he created the X virus.
Definitely.
Okay.
That's my thought. They didn't confirm what it was, but that's just my thought. And two, Brian, I don't know if you noticed, but his best friend and his girlfriend are nowhere in sight anymore.
Yeah. Bay the Blood Moon and Warlock are both missing from the future.
Yeah, where are they? And I know there's a new design now for was it Bishop I seen it for a month ago, or no, I think it was for Cable. There's a new design, and if you look at it, it looks like he might be getting some help from Warlock.
Okay,
that'd be pretty dope.
So I'm like, and Warlock does have that sense of, hey, that's my best friend, but still, he's not going to go for genocide. That was a little over the top. Warlock's not like that, so I can see him like, okay, I got to stop my best friend.
No, definitely. I wouldn't hate that. Him and Warlock working together would be an interesting phalanx, and working together with Cable is an interesting mix-up that you don't get to see too often. And it could make for some just badass guns that Cable could use.
Ooh, suppressing the virus in Cable. I like that. Yeah. That's good.
Okay, see, someone else said I didn't see that. Keeping it raw. Warlock's Cable's new arm.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's not, see, I wasn't bugging when I said I thought I seen that like a month ago.
All right, that's
I'm just checking in on some of these.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of the comments as well, and then also getting distracted by football. But I'm
already pissed off. Ravens lost by a point last night, so yeah, I'm good.
Who's playing right
now? Minnesota and Chicago, and McCarthy just threw a pick six, so yeah. All right, so with that being said, then let's wrap that up, and let's move on to, so we got DC Batman, which was the relaunch that came out. That was this past week, right? Yeah, that was this past week. So I guess number one, what's kind of like officially new, I guess, with this Batman here is that number one, it's kind of more like it's more of a self-contained story. So like every issue, from my understanding, is supposed to stand alone, yet it kind of feeds to like a larger through line, I guess is kind of the way that I would look at it. They got the blue and gray suit back, so like that's a thing. I'm not gonna lie to you, that was clean.
Yeah. that new Batmobile.
Yeah, the
Batmobile
Batmobile.
scene.
Not gonna lie to you though, like his interactions with
Killer Croc.
Killer Croc, his interactions with Killer Croc were
Like,
super. Sorry, somebody just fell. Were
Yeah,
super
see,
like,
that is
oh yeah, that's
fire.
fire.
fire as hell.
That is
The whole
amazing.
drawing style. I honestly love the drawing style.
Change nothing. change absolutely nothing.
No, I honestly, so I was hesitant to get into this. I was like, oh, it's another Batman comic. I didn't even read into it. You know, I usually don't release solicitations or anything like that. So when I bought Batman #1, I was like, cool, it's a Batman #1. I'll jump into it a little bit later and do all that good stuff. But and then I actually read it and then I saw what DC was doing, and I was like, first, like I don't know if it's necessarily the right time to be doing this with Batman, especially with everything they have going on with the Absolute Universe.
Yeah.
To be rebooting to an issue #1.
Can I interject real quick?
But yeah, give me 1 sec. And then because I'll end it right here. But with that being said, this comic was absolutely outstanding. And like the art, like you were saying on the artwork, it was phenomenal. I was so blown out of the water with how good this issue #1 is.
I agree. The only interjection I wanted to put, I agree with you 1,000,000% where I was iffy with the issue 1 where they have the Absolute Batman, which is going amazing, by the way.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you know, they started a whole new Batman series recently too.
Oh, that one. Okay.
I think it was like Immortal Batman. So it's like,
oh yeah.
So I'm kind of like, wait, how many Batman series are we doing at the same time, brand new?
Yeah, so Immortal Batman, and that's why I don't mind Immortal Batman, because that's an Elseworld story. Like it's completely separate, set away from everything going on in the main continuity. So that's just a fun Power Ranger-esque type story where we get to see where we get to see Batman just be ridiculous. And you know, I anytime I get to see him like just power up, like it's really what Batman Beyond is really the vibe of it. You know, Batman Beyond on steroids is really the vibe of Immortal Batman. But you're right. They're pushing a lot of Batman titles right now. They're just pushing. What'd you say? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
It was a little confusing for me.
Oh yeah.
The Immortal Batman. Once you got to the part where you find out he was Bruce.
Yeah, I think it's because how they wrote the story. They wrote it backwards. If you read the story actually backwards, it makes so much more sense. Like it actually pieces it together a lot easier if you just read it backwards. I don't know why they decided to do that. It's definitely a choice, but it's one they went with.
That.
But like you said, like if like the Batman comics they're coming out with someone. Hey, appreciate it, baby. But yeah, the Batman comics, they've been just dipping, they just coming out left and right.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and I worry that they're coming out with too much right now with the, you know, Absolute Universe doing so good. And then they're knockout, like, God, let's hope knockout something good. Like, God, I hope it's good. But
they're doing a really good prep for DCKO.
Yeah, they haven't been doing good in the last couple of years with their events. And I am really hoping that this one does something different. You know, fans love a good, just all out brawl. And I'm hoping that this does it. But yeah, so
we know.
Like I was saying, I was definitely pleasantly surprised with how good Batman turned out, with how much they have going on, with how much focus they have on other things. To bring out this was a really ballsy move, but their issue #1 definitely showed that they know what they're doing. What was it, Mike? What's his name? I can't remember the writer's name.
Let me look that up. I don't know
for which one, the new Batman.
New Batman, yeah, Mike Fraction.
Fraction, yep.
Yeah. Yeah, he came out and he was like, bro, he's like, I'm writing Batman now, and I'm gonna let you motherfuckers know. Like straight up.
Yeah, for sure. Not for sure.
I thought the whole concept was cool. Even what they're doing kind of with Killer Croc, it's a new spin to him.
Yeah.
But the psychological level is so incredible. Listen, everyone that's watching, if you haven't read this issue, I recommend it. You have to.
It's like what I enjoyed is, like I said, I love the interaction between him and Batman because you know, comics, like stories in general, is supposed to make you. It's nice when they have a lot of action, but at the same time, it's really good when they're allowing you to kind of do like an introspective on the character. and for Killer Croc to essentially be able to see Bruce, right? See Batman, see, well, not Bruce, but you know, give my point. Like to really kind of touch at the heart of Bruce, and you know, like that's the interaction there, and an introspective that Killer Croc is having with himself too, like coming to accept him, like looking like a monster, but knowing that internally you're really not.
Yeah,
like I just thought phenomenal, beautiful writing.
Amazing.
They're
diving in these characters like never before, and I'm absolutely here for it.
Yeah, what really got me with that issue is once I realized that Alfred wasn't even there. That completely, like, I was like, yo, you might need to go talk to that counselor yourself, Bruce.
Yeah. What happened to Alfred? Was it Bane? Who killed Alfred? Like he's been dead for a while now, right?
So
yeah, he's going in now.
Yeah, so I don't know which storyline they're really going to go off of with that, because you've had it where the Jokers killed them, Bane's killed them, like
Alfred, the only one to die for this long. I can't believe he was gone for so long.
It was Bane. Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're going with the Bane storyline?
Well, no, I think how has it's been
a
at
while,
least like 5 years, right?
It's been a while,
at a bare minimum.
It's been a minute,
and that's strange that they've had him dead.
It's the one. It's like one of the few characters that they've actually been able to, like, they made a point of actually being like, you know what, we're gonna keep. But you have to also look at all the other lines that came out of that.
Yeah.
You know, Alfred's death was a huge impact on the Bat family, and we saw this reverberate with Tim Drake, with Stephanie Brown, with Batman himself, or with Bruce Wayne himself, with all the Robins. All of them experienced some kind of falling out. Damian went down a motherfucking path. Homeboy went on a Mortal Kombat island fighting for his freaking life, bro. Like, he went through some struggle after Alfred died.
Yeah, that man. That's the man that needs therapy.
And so keeping Alfred dead really did make sense for the stories that they wanted to tell about the loss of essentially a father figure to all of them.
Yeah,
I'm trying to keep up with some of these chats. It reminds me too of the video I sent you the other day too, where the guy, he's like Robin in Gotham, and he's like, "Oh, which Robin's coming?" He goes, "It's one with a sword." He's like, "Oh man," he's like, "Nope, sword was a false alarm. They said this Robin has a red mask and guns." He's like, "No."
Speaking of, we got, I think next week we got a Red Hood #1.
Yes, we do.
Yes,
super excited about that. I can't wait to have my boy back.
And they've been hinting in that for like every single DC comic I've been reading. They hinted every single time.
They have been hyping this up.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, DC's doing. I mean, I think that they've had some really good stories recently. Like, Absolute Universe is clearly a killer. Like, it's been amazing. Some of the Action comic stuff hasn't been too bad either.
It's been picking up.
It's been doing pretty well. You know, but some of those stories are what's always confusing. Marvel does this worse than DC. DC actually gives you like where things are at times going on in the story.
Yeah.
Marvel's terrible at it. Like you're reading a story and you're like, okay, so I see Thor here, but then he died in Immortal Thor. So why is he in the Storm comic? Like, why was he in the beginning of God War with Miles? What is happening?
Yeah, you're lucky if you get a nice little hint to be like, oh yeah, this is a time reference on where we're at now. Like, it's really, you just got to kind of figure it out on your own. Exactly. It's like, well, he's dead, so it's got to be before this. Like, it's the only thing that makes sense. If it's afterwards, and they're not telling me something.
We was trying to do this the other day on the phone because we was like, okay, we know that when Immortal Thor was going on, we think that's when we seen him in Storm because he still had his powers.
Yeah.
But then later on in Storm, you see that Beta Ray Bill had, Mjolnir and was the god at the time. Yeah. So we're like, was that after history was already rewritten and now he's Mortal Thor? Like, they give no type of time stamp or anything. It's just figure it out.
This man was in One World Under Doom talking about how maybe Doom is right. Like
right.
And then it is incredible. Like, by the way, one of my favorite lines of the entire year. His literal name is Doom. Favorite line.
He's like, what are you guys talking about, dude? What are any of us talking about? It's Doctor Doom. Like, guys, come on.
That was absolutely phenomenal.
I gotta say though, Doom fighting Doom was one of the best things that I never thought I needed to see.
That life. One shot. You're talking about the was it 2099? Doom 2099, something like that?
Doom fighting Doom was everything I never realized I needed to see.
The whole idea too is on it, like the Doom fighting Doom wasn't the crazy part. It was just like Doom realizing to a certain extent, like, no, sorry, it's both Dooms still not realizing that they are 100% villains. It's both of them not realizing, no, neither one of you are good for anything, and them still not like, oh man, like Doom 2099. It's like, yeah, no, that dude needs to make better decisions. You can't give up the mantle of Sorcerer Supreme. Give it up.
You got to think about this too. He didn't see himself as a villain, and the only reason he wanted to have Doom, his past self, give up the power is because he killed everyone in existence and turned them into Doombots. He's the only living thing alive. He's bored by himself.
Doom is lonely.
Yeah,
he is. Doom is not. He's like, damn it, I've conquered it all. What do I have except for just my bots? I have no wife. I have my mother. You already know her situation. I have no one.
Legit. Just oh man. Oh man. By the way, I know you didn't read it, Garrett. Brian, did you read the series Let the Bad Guys In or Let the Bad Guys Win?
Oh no, I know which one you're talking about. I didn't read it. I actually decided to skip on that one. It was the Bad Guys one though, where it focused on Red Skull and Doom and all of them, right?
Man.
Yeah. Oh, bring on the bad guys.
Bring on the bad guys. It was such a good read for those issues, though. All to find out Mephisto's plan. Like, I'm telling you, it's worth the read.
It's always Mephisto.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course.
No, that's probably one I'm going to get when it comes out in the full. And then I'll just cover it all in one go in that way.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking of doing, too. Like, covering the whole thing as one.
Yeah.
I mean, there were, 7 singular one-shot issues? Is that what it was?
Yeah, there was a bunch.
There's 7 of them, but they tie as one story. So they did not market it right. They actually, when you read it in chronicle order of the release, it's one long story and it picks up right where the last one left off. But the way they marketed it was, these are just 7 stories, and you wouldn't know there's a read order. You'd probably just go to whatever character you thought is your favorite, and that's what you would read.
Yeah, that's interesting. Huh. See, and that's kind of like what. So there's. I mean, a part of it is just like us as like readers just missing some things at times, but some of it too is just like there's no proper marketing tactique, if you want to put it that way. Because like even the Doom 2099 story, like that didn't really seem like it had a lot of legs initially either. Like you had to like read it and then say, oh, there's something here, right? But it did. The reason why I said it is because it didn't have one world under Doom on it. It was just Doom 2099. You had to like really do some research and find out, okay, what exactly is going on here. You didn't really know it was a part of a tie-in. And especially when you have like certain one shots that, for lack of a better term, weren't really good. Talk about like the one shot what was it, like One Word Under Doom Gods, like that wasn't.
Oh, I didn't like that one.
That wasn't very satisfying of a read either. And of course, like Gods itself was an incredibly convoluted story. So therefore, I mean, you bring in a one shot that doesn't make it better. But when you have things like that, and then you don't connect like the things that are actually like good, it's like, okay. Because how many people really actually pulled Doom 2099? Not many.
Yeah, not many.
No. They would have did better if even if it just had the little logo of One World Under Doom at the top. You know, the little banner.
Yeah,
give it a shot. It would have said, "Oh, let me think about this for a second."
It would have grabbed more attention with that banner.
It's a tad bit, you know, it's a tad bit.
No
New Gods. That's good. Hey,
Space
I love
Cowboy.
DC's New Gods.
You were 100% right, by the way.
What happened?
Oh, no, they was just explaining the whole Thor situation, so I was just letting them know they're 100% right.
So essentially, from what I can understand, Asgard is trapped in the 9 realms and cut off from Midgard. Thor died. Midori Bill has taken the place of Thor. Thor's kind of reset himself, and Thor. Yeah, you missed the part where Thor is now absolutely brutal. He's absolutely brutal. That's the only part that you missed, Space Cowboy. This man,
oh man,
this man as Sigurd, he might be more brutal than he ever has been in the war. Whoa, my God.
Yeah. Someone said in the comments too, because you know I covered that issue.
Yeah,
someone was saying that it's kind of a copy and paste story, like it was already done before. So I definitely want to look into that because it's something I haven't read.
The name is familiar, but I feel like the name was tied to something else, like the Sigurd. I don't remember that entire story. I did look up something on it. I don't remember that. I don't remember what I ate for breakfast this morning. Come on, guys.
So there is a series I know that is coming out. You really are. You brought up. You're kind of excited for.
Yes.
So do you want to at least tell them the name of that? So before we get into this,
yeah. So we got that, and then we got one other thing. So the Undead Iron Fist, and Brian, I'm going to lean into you on this one because this is something that I don't have the full backstory on. All I know is that Danny Rand was dead, and then now he's returning as the Undead Iron Fist, and that is as much leading as I will give you.
So hold on, Brian, before you say anything. Garrett, have you seen what he looks like, though?
Oh, have I seen what he look?
Oh, man.
I have pictures upon pictures. I will pull it up on screen.
That design, Brian, that design is fire. I know some people are going to hate it, but that design to me is fire. And it screams, I'm not here to play no games.
Yeah, it looks good, dude. I'm really excited for Undead. Like, it's one of the few out of that title that's really, really gonna, I think I think a lot of fans are excited about this. You know, so yeah, like you mentioned, I covered the entirety of Swordmaster, the brand new Iron Fist, and that's for people that don't know, it's Lin Lai. I'm pretty sure I pronounced that correctly. If I don't, I'm sorry. But Swordmaster was essentially part of like the Korean superhero squad. You know what I mean? Like. Worked with Silver Fox and Taiguchi and things of that nature, but for the most part, Swordmaster wasn't like a popular character. You know, in fact, I found his character really freaking annoying. Like a lot of the time, he was annoying as hell. But then he came to the Iron Fist, and the story I really enjoyed. I know a lot of the diehard Danny Rand fans, they really didn't like it, but I really enjoyed that. It wasn't just handed to him. Like he really he had to earn it. He had to come to terms with his past, so on and so forth. And it wasn't something that was necessarily just taken from Danny Rand by him. And Danny Rand was even involved in that story and helping him out along the way. I think ultimately though, just fans weren't feeling it. And so they really never did anything more with Lin Lai as Iron Fist. And I guess this is their opportunity of at least trying to use Danny Rand in some capacity without it really having to be Lin Lai.
Now,
yeah, I mean, the whole premise is that like can you really kill the immortal Iron Fist? I mean, so they kind of playing on those.
Yeah, which I'm very curious because I mean, Danny Rand's just a dude now. He's just a dude that knows karate, you know what I mean? Like he doesn't have any powers, he doesn't have anything crazy. So I'm really interested to see like how they're gonna have him in this, how he's gonna have any connection to the Iron Fist, how it's gonna affect anything with Swordmaster Lin Lai, and like it's gonna be interesting to say the least. I really hope they don't mess this up though, because it's been a long time since Iron Fist fans have seen Danny Rand wielding some kind of power like this. So like if it's just half-assed, I think they're going to be pretty unhappy about it.
And I think by the time this drops, he'll be dead for a year, correct? In our time, not comic book world, but I think he died last year. I want to say in August. They killed him off.
Danny Rand?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think he did, yeah.
Yeah. By the way, how did you feel about that last page thing with the QR code? Personally, I wasn't a fan of that.
Bro, they tried doing the QR code with a bunch of different comics, especially in the X-Men comics, and it got so annoying. Like, it was very, very frustrating. Like, I don't want to read a QR code to look at the last page of the comic. Just give me the last page of the comic. It's like, what are we talking? I paid $5 digitally for this comic. Now I have to go get my wife's phone to take a picture of this freaking QR code just so I can get the last picture. She's got to screenshot it, send it to me so I can email it to myself so I can upload. Bro, put it in the comic. Put it in the comic.
I paid this money for a comic, and the best page is not in the comic. That's what you're telling me.
Yeah, I don't think Danny Rand's a billionaire anymore either.
No,
it's been a while. I can't remember yet.
No, he's not. Also, too. So I'm curious. What will this new powers be with him? Because we've seen it now. He's kind of like a phantom type thing. Like, I'm really curious with the direction they're going to go, and at the same time, are they going to bench this new?
Sorry, good joke. Wow.
Microtransactions for days.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
But yeah, I really don't know what the hell they're gonna do with this. Like, maybe it's gonna be like he gets the power from previous Iron Fists. You know, the Iron Fists of the past bestow power into his phantom form, and he's able to do something like. So it's the best guess I could possibly come up with what the hell they're going on with this.
Yeah, I'm excited to read it. I'm just curious how they're going to do it.
Listen, I'm going into this with an open heart and open mind. It's what I'm not as jaded as you two. I'm going in here with an open heart and an open mind, and this is going to be great. And I'm going to ignore everything else that happened previously before this, and I'm going to move forward with the story as currently is. No, I'm not. I'm probably almost like
yes. Said Swordmaster who? Like, that didn't happen.
For first issue. What the hell is this, bro? Are you kidding me?
Listen, I know that's going to be an issue. We're going to be on the phone like, bro, what the hell just happened?
This is a possibility. My what the hell is this crap meter usually goes up pretty high.
Right, we got you in a group chat now, so we're gonna be hitting you up like, bro, did you read this?
did you see this nonsense?
One thing is for certain. This is going to be a big deal for Marvel because this is their big X-Men event since the Krakoan era. You know, and this is gonna matter. We've already seen them closing up a lot of the X books and ending titles left and right. You know, this is gonna matter on what they're gonna do with the X-Men moving forward. If this is a flop, we could see a lot more X titles canceled, and you know, I got a love-hate relationship for that. I want more X titles, but also at the same time means I got to cover more X titles for you guys, and it's a lot more work for me.
so question on that: how have you been feeling about the X titles? Because I personally have gotten incredibly overwhelmed with all the X titles. I mean, the one that I loved, like low key loved for a long time, was like Exceptional X-Men. Like, I actually thought it was a really fun story. The Uncanny X-Men completely just like dropped that because I was just like, this is getting ridiculous now. Like, what is that? The kid that I forgot his name that dies or that is dead that can see that people, whatever. I was after they killed him and then he wasn't killed, and then I was like, what are we doing? Okay, we're done. That was where I dropped off. And then the X-Men series hasn't been as good since, you know, Lindquist and Cyclops. Like, ever since that like issue, it hasn't seemed to be that good to me. But Exceptional X-Men was fun. But yeah,
I understand what the writers are doing. Okay, so we come out of the Krakoan era, and all the leadership, the big leadership, is gone. The Quiet Council disperses. Everyone goes their separate ways. X-Men are forming their own teams. They're scattering to the winds. Excuse me. So they needed somebody to step up. This is really where Rogue steps up. This is where Cyclops steps up. they start forming Emma Frost and Kitty Pryde accidentally step up and they start forming their own stuff. So for me, when it came to the X titles, I'm continuing Uncanny X-Men, Exceptional X-Men, a few of the others, but like NYX, X-Force, X Factor, I dropped all of those after issue 1. And and you can see why I dropped those things after issue 1. Most of them didn't make it past issue 10. So the ones that I kept up with were really the prime X team, if you will. You know what I mean? The ones that fans really want to keep up with and know where they're going. And so when it came to the Uncanny, I can understand why a lot of fans don't like it. I can understand why you don't like it. Me personally, the Death Dream that you're talking about, I fucking love that emo little motherfucker. I love him. I love him. He is super awesome. And like, he really looks up to Ransom like a big brother. Like, it's really heartwarming. The reason
I did like Ransom.
The reason I like the stories is because it's giving Rogue and Gambit, Wolverine, all of it. Well, I mean, Wolverine kind of in a sense, but it's giving all these guys that have always been students the opportunity to be the teacher. And they're actually learning what it is that Charles Xavier had to go through in teaching these kids. Because, I mean, even Kitty Pryde and Emma Frost, they didn't want shit to do with these kids at first. But then it was like, damn, like, now I kind of feel like obligated to help them out because somebody helped me out. And now we're going down this path. And so we're seeing new mutants come along and a new generation of mutants pop up, which is good and bad. You know, we're getting new characters, new opportunities for storylines. But a lot of the old time fans are like, what the hell am I reading? Like, why do I care about Ransom? Why do I care about Death Dream? Why do I care about all these little, you know, they, them characters that they're creating? Like, I can understand it. But
I like Death Dream.
I love Death Dream, dude. He's awesome. He's such a weirdo, dude. But I can understand why people don't like these characters. And the problem with X-Men right now is it's too focused on that. All of their titles are focused on that. Whereas, you know, you have maybe Wolverine. That's one of the few exceptions when it comes to the X titles, and all the others are getting canceled. So if you're an OG X-Men fan and you're like, I want my core X-Men team, like Exceptional X-Men, I think, is really the only thing that is even coming close. No, not Exceptional X-Men. It's just the regular X-Men title.
Regular X-Men.
That's even coming close to anything that could be. And now it's headed off in the direction of Age of Revelation. So now you're not even going to be getting a actual X-Men story. You're getting a hypothetical futuristic X-Men story, which we've seen 1,001 times, you know, Days of X-Men Past and so on and so forth. And so I think we're headed in the wrong direction with these X titles. And I think this cancellation and stuff of that nature might be putting us on the right track. I think they're recognizing it. You know, Kamala Khan putting her at the forefront of fucking X-Men relations, like, go to hell. Go all the way to hell for that. Yeah. Like,
So let me ask you a question, because we talked about this a few weeks ago.
You got me ranting.
No, we like this.
You are a guest. Rant on.
Yes, we like this. This is why I'm about to have you rant more. So do you think they're running, as far as X-Men, out of topics? What I mean by that is, and me and Garrett have talked about this numerous times, we're getting tired of, okay, the only topics they can bring out is humanity hates mutants.
Yeah, I do agree. It's been a huge focal point, and again, playing devil's advocate, I can understand where they're coming from. We just got out of the Krakoan era. They had their own nation. They had immortality. They had their own cures for cancer and everything else in between. And they were keeping this from all of humanity. Like when it was proven with Captain America being able to be reborn, and you know, them essentially passing out cures to sick kids and things of that nature along the way. Obviously, that was tainted and so on and so forth by Sinister. But the overall plot was that we hate them because they held so much back from us for so long when they had immortality and they kept it from us. Like, I don't know about you, but if I found out like Brazil was secretly keeping immortality, I'd be like, oh, that's pretty fucked, dude. Like, there's kids dying of cancer and you're keeping immortality to yourself. Like, you're pretty screwed up. So I can understand the perspective, but I do agree that they're going back to the old trope of we hate mutants and mutants are bad and blah, 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 when they didn't need to. Like, you could definitely have those stories, but like I was talking about earlier, we have an entire planet of mutants that are existing, an entire untapped culture of mutants that we're doing absolutely nothing with. If we want to time travel, let's go 250,000 years into the past where Cassandra Nova was supposed to be, where an entire civilization existed there. That was the birth of mutant kind, if you guys read that comic.
Yep.
So you could go back to that time era and focus on those stories. You have the White Hot Room. You could focus on those stories. There are so many mutant stories that were set up for you coming out of Krakoa, and you guys decided to focus on some teenagers and small time stuff. Like, what are we even talking about? There's so much bigger things going on at play, and we're focusing on teenage drama. Which, like I said, I love some of the characters, but let's be real. That's what it is. It's teenage soap operas.
Sorry, we're laughing. Just...
Source of eternal youth.
And I guess that's the reason why I kind of like Exceptional X-Men. It seems like the most sort of just like outlandish story in a sense, in a way where it's, yes, it's these group of kids, but it's also just how reluctant, you know, Emma, well, really Kitty Pryde is of leading this group, and that just that entertains me thoroughly. And also they're silly, so like that also makes it fun too. And it's less about that overused trope, right? Of they don't like mutants. It's like, yeah, we know it's there. It's happening, right? Of course, it's always going to be there, but it's not the main crux of the story. And that's why I think I'm enjoying that story more than the main X-Men. Because the main X-Men title, that's really kind of the essential focus.
Yes. Either
every issue or every other issue that is the main focus. Same thing with Uncanny X-Men a little bit too as well. It's the same thing. So that's why I like Exceptional X-Men. But for me, someone that kind of went through the cliff notes of Krakoa, saw how the height of when it started, when it got to like the middle of it, and then seeing, because once again, remember, I read the most important stories, not the entire thing, right? Yeah. So I got all the hits.
Yep.
Like that's I saw all the hits.
Yep.
And then you saw how it ended, and you're like, ooh.
And so reading some of these are hard. Like reading the Magneto ones are hard, dude. Like it makes no sense. Like he's got this sickness that's keeping him essentially paralyzed and unable to use his powers, but no other mother freaking mutant out there is affected like this. Nobody else is affected like this. So what's going on with Magneto? Now, we could argue it's because he was literally dragged back from hell and reborn, which still they can't figure out either, because one minute he's reborn and he's young and just looking jacked and handsome, and next minute he's old and crippled and he can barely get out of a wheelchair. Like, what depiction of Magneto are we going with here? What age time frame are we going with? Like, they need to get together and decide what they're doing with Magneto, because right now they're just absolutely butchering him after Krakoa. Like, this is the man that stood up and said, "We are your new gods."
Right.
And now he's crippled by a supposed mutant virus that nobody else is crippled by. Like, it just doesn't make any damn sense to me. Like, you're taking one of your biggest hitters, one of your best characters in X-Men history, and you're just sidelining him into the HQ for what story? For Cassandra Nova to come back and tease some weird abomination kid to eat the town? Like, what are we talking about? Like, these stories just it sucks, because Krakoa had so many good stories that we're fighting the Eternals, we're taking on these grand amazing things, we're terraforming our planet, and now we're telling just mediocre stories.
Quanos, you gotta stop, man.
Yeah, he said Magneto has the same virus Goku had.
Oh, real.
I think that's part of the reason, even though I might not be covering them all, I'm liking a lot of these side stories. I'm loving Storm, Psylocke. I know a lot of people don't like Psylocke.
Storm's fucking amazing.
Oh, amazing. Yeah. Psylocke is amazing.
Her last issue,
Magic is amazing.
Yep. Yeah, all these side stories that people aren't really focused on, that if it doesn't have X-Men in the title, they're actually really fucking good right now.
Seriously.
Like, and that's crazy to say that because they came out strong, bro. They came out like, we got this X title and this X title and this X title. Like, it's gonna be dope. This is from the ashes. We're gonna pop it. And then like here we are, 6 months later, and half of those have been canceled, and most of them, people aren't even interested in buying anymore, and most of them are just watching it on the opportunities they can, whether you cover it or I cover it.
Yeah.
Yep. That's essentially it. I mean, and really the most fire series that they have right now is probably Storm. Storm is, but then like I'm clenching my butt cheeks because I'm just like, how do you end this?
Yeah, and that's always the big question: is where do you go with a story like this? Like, can they actually come out of this and make a big story? Like I've said it before, Kelly Thompson's 50-issue run on Captain Marvel is still arguably one of my favorite comic series of the last 5 years, hands down, without a question. And it was at coming out of it, where do you go from here? And the answer was nowhere, because nobody's buying Captain Marvel comics anymore. Right. And that's the big concern, is like, you're doing something big like this with Storm. Where do you go with her after this? What do you do with her after this? It has to be something that's big, that has to do with mutant kind as a whole. Honestly, she was Regent of Arakko. We have an opportunity to bring Arakko back in with that. Too, someone I want to bring up who had a really good run. It's on a pause, but it's coming back. Steve Orlando did a great job with Scarlet Witch. Yeah. Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
I don't like the whole vision of Scarlet Witch, but Scarlet Witch on her own, that series is fantastic. I can't wait for it to come back.
Yeah. No, Scarlet Witch he was killing it.
Yeah, they have like a lot of our female characters are doing really well. I mean, like Phoenix is up and down. Like it kind of goes back and forth, but Scarlet Witch was really good. Storm to me, out of all of them,
still peak.
It's like top tier. I mean, between Storm and Scarlet Witch, like there was a period of time where it was just like, no, these are fire. Like, these are absolute like some crazy ish going on in these, and then of course we just, like I said, Phoenix has just been up and down. even just like with some of like the art style changes to it, Phoenix has just been a little weird too, like throughout the comic as well. But inside, like you said, Psylocke, it's a shame that no one cares enough about Psylocke, because really and truly, like, she's been having a great just like character build, like a character. She's been having a phenomenal character build. Like, just the things that she's dealing with, like on an emotional level, are so good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think a lot of fans have never given her the time of day, just because they didn't like her as Psylocke. They didn't like her taking on the moniker of Psylocke. They wanted to go back to her how it originally was, and I get that to a point. But at this point, like, this is Psylocke, and we need to just accept that. They're doing a whole solo series at this point. Betsy Braddock's out doing her own thing as Captain Britain, which, again, another great story that I don't even know what the hell they did with it. They had that. It was Otherworld, right? Like, I don't even know what the hell happened with that. Like, that was a whole story arc that they just kind of just fizzed off into nothingness.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know what has transpired with that ever since they did the whole mind swap thing.
Yeah, it's been a minute, but yeah, 90s exactly. Yes, 90s Psylocke. If you know, you know. Yeah, people love 90s Psylocke, man. People love 90s Psylocke, and I don't blame them, man. 90s Psylocke was great. 90s Psylocke was absolutely fantastic. I honestly, I love Betsy as Captain Britain, and I like Juan as Psylocke. I think they've done a really good job since before the Krakoan era of really laying the landscape and getting us to this point where it's pretty acceptable for these characters to have those titles.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely agree. You got me wondering. I'm gonna have to look into that, because now I'm wondering, like, what new have they done with Captain Britain? You got me wondering now.
Yeah, Captain Britain. I mean, look into it, man. There's a lot that happened with Captain Britain, and especially in the Krakoan era, there's a lot that happened with Captain Britain, both male and female.
Okay, I'm definitely gonna check into that.
What Meyer said just now is 100% right, by the way, and we've had this debate multiple times, and it's easily been this answer. DC is killing Marvel right now, and I'm a lifelong Marvel fan. I agree with you.
Which is crazy, because last year it was the opposite. Last year, Marvel was absolute killer, and DC couldn't come up with shit. And I have said this for years, and I will continue to do it. DC, the best thing that they do is Elseworld stories. They fucking kill it with Elseworld stories, and Absolute Universe is 100% proof of what I have been saying. That proves it right there. Like Absolute Universe, everybody loves it. Everybody wants it. They're fucking guzzling that shit down. And it makes sense. The stories are absolutely phenomenal. But like I said, like DC proves their Elseworld stories are better than their canon stories. And that's a problem.
That's a major problem.
That's a big ass problem. But it's a good thing in the temporary right now.
Yeah, Absolute Universe were present. No, but seriously, you know, and that's the reason why DCKO cannot flop. Like, that cannot be a thing that doesn't do well. If that doesn't do well, you've essentially erased all that you've built up towards it. And that's exaggerating, right? Because I mean, I stand alone. Absolute Batman has still been amazing. Absolute Superman has still been amazing. Absolute Green Lantern is amazing. Derek, by the way, he did it. I
saw Derek. I saw Derek. I got you, bro. I told you they'll come back. Chill, bro.
So here's where the issue is with because I am a DC fan. I'm a big DC fan. They can't retcon all the mistakes they've already made.
Yeah.
So their otherworld stories they can retcon to make them more fantastic.
Yes.
Even when they do their reboots or their restructures, whatever you want to call them, they still go by the same guidelines, the same stories, the same everything. So that's where the problem is with DC.
No, I agree. I think that's a big ass problem for them to have. But they, you know, I think like we were saying, they just have to come out of this Absolute Universe, and they have to be able to find a way to be able to, like I was talking to Blurred about this not too long ago, and we were talking about how they just need to age the characters. They need to start letting these characters actually progress and actually start aging. And that's how we can actually start moving forward and getting more in-depth stories. Like, who doesn't want, you know, a 21-year-old Tim Drake that's out there on his own, you know, in his own city, doing his own thing, taking on a new moniker? Who doesn't want Damian Wayne, you know, possibly taking over like the League of Assassins? You know, there's so many possibilities that we could go down if we simply just let them age. And I'm not saying even quickly. We've already established in DC Universe that these guys age at a much slower rate, you know, as they've seen throughout the years and so on and so forth. We could just say, you know, something happened to where it's aging them just a slightly bit faster. So, you know, in real time, it's a year, but for them, it may be 6 months. You know what I mean? Just to where we're actually meeting up with real time. And by the time, you know, 20 years goes by, these characters have also aged up as well. What's this guy saying? He got you cracking up.
It's just his response back. So Ibrahim said, "I feel weird because I don't like the Absolute Universe." And then Qualis response, "Blink if you're
Blink twice." That's
seriously, Qualis, you gotta log off, my guy.
Oh man. Oh man.
But yeah,
I hear what you're saying. That does make sense. I mean, I feel like it's the same thing with Marvel, though. Like, to a certain extent, it's like there is no.
Now I say about Peter Parker all the time is the new universe shows us that we all want a middle-aged Peter Parker who is married with kids or whatever the case may be. We want that motherfucker 35 years old, and we want it now. Like, and we've seen it. Everybody loves it. Everybody wants it. Anytime they show us a middle-aged Peter Parker, we lose our shit because we're all middle-aged now.
Yes,
we want it.
Right.
He wins the battle and loses the war. We want him to win both.
Right. Please.
Family, the girl he chooses. We don't care about who the fans want. Give him the one he wants.
Yes.
Like,
bro, have his ass all day long.
Have his ass whooped. Have him be brutal, but at the same time, he can still go home safe.
I think her name, was it Cyrex or something like that? I'm still mad he didn't.
Syra, what's her name?
I think it was Syra. I'm still mad they didn't get together. When the 8 Deaths of Spider-Man, she was the female one. That was she was invisible watching him get it on the whole night. Do you understand?
She was like, I could still change him.
He was like, "Are you still there?" I know you're there.
No, I still go on. I'm a Black Cat all day long. Like Black Cat and Peter should be together. I know it's like morally questionable because she's a thief and stuff like that. But bro, homie, look the other way. Like Felicia, she's a baddie, bro. Like look the other way. Let her steal from some billionaires. No one's gonna care. It's gonna be okay. They got insurance. We good to go, bro.
Look at Batman and Catwoman. They make it happen on and off.
That's what I'm saying. Like it can work.
I feel you on this though, Jamie. I feel you on this. Issue 24. I'm dreading this moment. I'm dreading because it is really. I'm not telling you that all the Ultimate issues are not good, but they're just not Ultimate Spider-Man.
Ultimate Spider-Man is the best Ultimate series, I think.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what they're gonna do out of this because I think they realize how big of a cash cow this is, and they're not ready to let this die yet. And so I think coming out, I think they're gonna be like, "This is last issue of this. We're gonna have a big event, but coming out of this big event, we're gonna have some more titles for you." I think that's what's gonna inevitably be the outcome of this. Like, because I mean, you can't let this Ultimate Universe go away. You can't. Like, if you let this go, right now with how hard things are for both Marvel and DC, they've been like they have a crossover coming up for a reason. These guys, these companies, they do these big crossovers for a reason. It's not because the companies are doing so great that they need to do a crossover. It's because they need to make some extra money, and so this is the best way they know how to. Now, this year has been really kind to them with the Absolute and the Ultimate Universe, but I don't see them wanting to slow this down anytime soon until they can get their main lines back in order and back to making money.
Now, with those crossovers, you're talking about the Batman and Deadpool, correct?
Yes.
So one's DC and one's Marvel.
Of course, they both got to make money off of it.
Yep. So I'm curious to see how they do that. That's going to be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that should be probably some of the most fun. You know, that I'm expecting a comic that's going to be fun. But the part about it is that I'm concerned about is just Batman being Batman. You know, like how I don't know how that's going to mesh very well. You know, at some point in time, I don't know. I am probably one of the few people here that are just like, this could flop, but okay, let's see what happens.
I feel like you're gonna have Deadpool being Deadpool, you know, being the clown / warrior. You're gonna have Batman being dead serious, and that's what's gonna make the comedy even more funnier.
Now, when honestly, I'm kind of with you. Like when I heard that there was gonna be a DC Marvel crossover, I was like, oh shit. I was like, I got to get on my shit again. I got to get back on my YouTube channel because that's going to be huge.
Yeah.
And then I found out it was Batman and Deadpool, and I was like, oh, that's it.
That's what you picked?
That's what we're doing? That out of all the things that you guys could do together, you're doing Batman and Deadpool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Deadpool is such a gimmicky character, right? That's just my thing with him. He's such a gimmicky character. It's I've never read a Deadpool comic and said to myself, other than Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe, but like I've never read a Deadpool comic and said, you know what, man? Yeah, this is going to be important. This is going to feel important. I always say to myself, damn it, this is going to be a good, fun time. Like that's and that I go in with that expectation.
Yeah,
I feel the same way about that with Deadpool and Batman.
Michael, I just want to say I was just with Hickman recently. I just want to say he's a phenomenal guy. I definitely want to chat with him a little more.
Yeah.
Listen, I got to meet him. I was chatting with him for about an hour.
Nice, dude.
Yeah. So like, that's one of them things where it's just like, when you get to meet people like that, you want to pick
his brain. Yep.
Appreciate you, Buddy Crow. Welcome in.
He's not the only one I got to meet, but it was definitely, he was in my top 2.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, like I said, I am probably one of the few that's just like, all right, we'll see what happens, homie. Like, if I read, like, to me, it's like, what does this do when it's, and maybe I think too far ahead. What does this do when it's done? Like, what does this do when it's over? I think about it from that perspective, and that's how I felt about Venom War. When Venom War was done, I was like, what happened here? Like, what happened here? Like, this was I didn't feel it like how you guys did. Remember, we just came back into we've been speed reading comics for the past year trying to catch up on life, right? Like that's what we've been doing. So we haven't experienced it like how you guys were. Since 2021, they've been built since the end of King of Black, they've been building up this Venom war. I can't imagine how you guys feel with how it ended.
So, and if you've been following my channel for a while, you'll know we talked about it because I was covering I covered every single Venom comic for years, and I was amped up every time there was a small little hint. Kang mentions it in a one shot for the year, and I'm like, oh shit, that Venom war's coming, bro. It's on the horizon. And then it finally comes and it just flops so hard. Like, and I didn't even finish reading it. I stopped reading it. And then I look at comics now and they're like, oh, the new Venom, Mary Jane. I'm like, what the fuck happened? What did you guys do?
Listen, the only good thing that came out of all new Venom is I do like the suit. That's all I can say.
Oh,
the new Venom suit, I kind of like how it looks. That's all I can say, though.
Man, it looks like a gold Power Ranger. the gold Zeo Power Ranger.
And I can't lie. The only good thing I really like off of the Venom War, I'm starting to really like the whole Eddie and Carnage situation. They've grown on me.
It
was rocky at the beginning, but it's grown on me.
I still haven't even picked up one issue of it.
Really? I've been covering it on the channel. It's something about him trying to be Mr. Right. I'm trying to do the right thing.
And trying to get Carnage to do that.
No.
and Carnage is just like,
Carnage like, leave me alone. And Carnage is like, no. We need to survive. Come here. He even puts on a pimp suit. I call him Pimp Carnage.
Pimp Carnage. So that dynamic is kind of fun. I will say that, but I guess I'm kind of like with everyone else. I'm like, just go back to Venom, bro. Please just go back to Venom. Like
you had such a good story arc where you're opposite of the Beyonders, and you're just like this epic cosmic force, and then like all of that's gone. All like what are we talking about? You had this like access to this infinite pool of everything, and now like you're hanging out with Carnage, hanging out in pimp suits, like
and the other portion of it too for me is like I've gotten to the point now with like Dylan. I'm done with him. Like I can't deal with Dylan Brock no more, man. I can't do it.
Yep, he's promise, and again, to me. Again, that's another thing they mess up in the Venom War. They could have done something great with Venom, him and Venom, and or just him in general, and they really just dropped the ball. And instead they went the direction of making him whiny and insufferable and just an annoying character. You know, because they were slowly building him up to where like, I could overcome all of this. Instead, they're like, let's take him in the opposite direction. Let's regress his character and make him just insufferable to where people don't even want to read these comics anymore. I don't understand why you would. Yeah, the old him was getting good. It was getting better. He was growing with Venom and he was becoming something formidable. And then they just slashed that entirely. And they're like, we're not going to go that direction with him. It's like, all right, cool. I guess I don't have to like Dylan anymore.
Yeah,
you know what? That one, you are right. The one shot with like Peter keeping the symbiote was great. Honestly, one of the greatest issues I think of like last year was the one where we saw Peter becoming King of Black. Because I know, remember, it was talked about how, right? I think they said that he should have. I think it eventuality telling Eddie that Peter should have been a King of Black, but then he chose to go in a different direction. So I love seeing him.
That he was supposed to take his place, but the life just happens. Shit goes different directions, and Eddie Brock's the one that ends up there instead of Peter.
Right. I love that. So I think everybody was really just like eating it up, man, when they saw like Venom with the symbiote, Peter with the symbiote again, with Venom again. And I was just like, yeah, that was great. But then they had to shoo in MJ. MJ's the hero. MJ's Arachnio.
Jackpot.
Can we just let her roll her 3 skulls?
Bro, let her be done with.
Yeah,
call it quits.
The 3 skull thing. Oh, now they have it. This is what really pissed me off. MJ not just bonding with Venom, but bonding with Venom on a molecular level, something that Eddie Brock has never even done. That really aggravated me, man.
Why does that need to happen? Like, fuck y'all.
Especially since Eddie was considered the perfect Bond. That makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah.
None. By the way, the Bloody Crow, that has already happened. Sorry to inform you. He said Mighty Morphin Symbiote Rangers issue 1 coming soon. Sorry to inform you, but Spider-Verse versus Venomverse, you do have symbiote Power Rangers now.
So I think somebody commented in that and asked for you to cover that. You know, listen. You know how I feel about that. You're free to do whatever.
Listen, even
I'm just saying.
Even Okoye has a Venom symbiote. Okay,
Yeah,
like it's ridiculous.
It's insane. That's just absolutely insane. I'll watch it though.
I don't know if I'd cover that. Is some things I read are just a personal read.
Yeah, there's certain things 100% I'm reading them. Just like the whole, like, I was probably one of the very few people on Earth, because I understand, why would you? I'm probably one of the few people on Earth who's followed the Gwen Stacy story, the Spider-Gwen, the Ghost Spider. No one should read that. I'm gonna be very clear about it. Nobody should read that. but I've been following it. Like, even when she met up with this Loki from the other universe, yes, I read it all. I read what we found out, that she got the powers of a cosmic cube. Whatever. Like, yes, I followed it.
I don't like that at all.
It's stupid. It is 100% stupid. But nevertheless, I've been enjoying my time.
Let me send this to you. I just sent you something in the chat. So that way you can pull it up so you can show them, because the Bloody Crow's like, no way.
Which chat did you send it to me in?
On here, on the live.
Oh, I don't see it. Oh, also my tablet is blocking it because I'm once again watching.
Oh, okay, hold on. I'll I'll send it to you on the Discord.
All right, and I got it. All right, let me pull it up
just so he can see, and I want Brian to see this too. It gets real.
So hold on, you were serious about this crap?
Why'd you think I was joking?
Oh my gosh!
Comics out here.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my gosh! They're doing too much. They just stop it. Stop it. Get out of here, bro.
Is that Zach? Like, is it? Is Zach wearing the Venom symbiote, bro? Like, what is going on?
I can't believe they did that.
Well, keep in mind, Godzilla wore it too. So, I mean.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Yeah. This is bad. This is bad.
Look at the chat right now.
This is bad. But this is also like kind of cool at the same time. It's weird to me. It's weird. It's weird. Like, hold on. Tell me, does he does he do it?
If he jumped on and he was beating them for like 6 issues, we'd have a problem. Like,
this is from Spider-Verse versus Venom. I might read this stupid thing. I might do it. I might just do it for funsies. Wow. Oh my gosh. All right, what else we got? Is that it? Is that, have we come to the end of the road? Still, I can't let go. It's so natural. You belong to me. I belong to you.
I think Venom Power Rangers is a good spot to end the
yes. I believe so. Listen, Brian, any last thoughts before we kick it off?
No, I appreciate you guys having me on. It was a great pleasure. Like I said, like I told you guys are growing great. You guys are doing fantastic. You guys are freaking knocking it out of the park. You guys are on pace to outdo me, and it's absolutely fantastic, man. So you guys keep on keeping on.
Hey, we appreciate it. Thank you for the kind words, for sure. You know, like I said, we watch, you know, one of those channels that we watch coming up. A lot of inspiration, you know, going around. So we appreciate you being on. Appreciate you deciding to come on our little small channel. Thank you.
Yes, sure. And definitely, I appreciate you coming on and just, you know, breaking some stuff down with me, ranting with me, you know, like no, it's good when other people can be able to debate and or have like minds, and you know, you're able to get some of that stuff out there when it comes to these comics.
Oh, trust
that's
me,
what we're all here for.
Yep. I need more people to talk comics with. I'll be on more.
Oh, definitely.
We'll have you. Definitely.
Yeah, don't say that. If you don't mean it, because we'll have you back on multiple times.
I need an outlet. My wife doesn't want to hear this shit.
That's fair. You know what's funny? You know what's funny? I was talking to my wife earlier today about. I was telling her about DCKO and Ultimate Universe like a couple weeks ago. She was just like, yeah, it sounds like it would be cool. And I was like, you know what, bye.
Yeah. I can tell you don't even care.
Just so that you're aware, I don't want to talk to you about Blind Spot whenever you have something going on. Don't tell me about this series. But listen, we appreciate you being appreciate y'all being in the chat. Thank you guys so much for being here. We'll be back again. We're doing every other week now. So we're not doing every Monday, but we're doing every other week. We appreciate y'all so very much. As always, as I usually say, thank you for kicking it, keeping it comic.
And I'll catch y'all on the next one.